Hi, my name is Michael Robinson, and this is my story. I went to work January 5th. Obviously, I worked midnights, but about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was kind of lagging around, waiting on the clock to run out, more or less what we was doing, and we had a list we had to do, and that was one of the last things we had to do. And this guy we call Pops, he come down the steps, and he hollered at me, said, what's going on? You get it going? And I said, yeah, I got it going. And about that time when I turned around, that roller took off, and they're about 3 foot long, yay wide, and it sucked my hand up in it. And when it went through it, I just yanked it back out. But when I yanked it out, it just more or less pulled my pinky off. My ring finger was just, it was there, but it was smashed up. My middle finger from about that knuckle is just like a 90-degree turn, and this finger, it just it cut off. Fingernails all gone, top of it's gone, which you can see what it cut off. When I did get hurt, I was like, oh no, that's the first thing come to my mind. That's my clutch hand. I parked my bike for not the reason of my hand. My hand was perfectly fine. It looked like this hand when I parked my bike. I parked my bike because it's got a head gasket leaking on it. I said, we're not going for a ride. We're going to cancel it. It's leaking oil. And of course, it was a brand new motor. I just had it built. First one I ever had built. And I thought we'd just park it over in the corner, and I get a few checks under, get some stuff caught up, and I get it fixed. Like I said, it's about $800 to fix it. We go to Evansville. They call in a Dr. Null. And he come in, and he put it back together. And finally, we got into another therapy over in Salem, and they got going on it. And then my bike is parked for the head gasket leaking, too bad oil. I go to therapy for a year and 4 months, 16 days. I start my bike once every 2 months, every other month, start it, just keep it, going. Because one day I'm going to ride it again. I always told them I'm going to ride my motorcycle if I got to move my clutch down somewhere. Oh, in the meanwhile, when this was getting hurt, I was probably headed for divorce. I was getting ready to patch in with storm riders down here, and so that led into problems at home, led into problems me and her where, it shouldn't have, but it did. And we was arguing that morning, and she left, and I thought, well, I'm done. I'm done with all this stuff. I'm done with everything. I'm 44 years old. I'm done. I grabbed the Lyrica bottle, and it's a high dosage. I just poured 6, 7, 8, 10 out of my hand. I just put those in my mouth. Got in my son's car and took off. And I called her and I said, it's over with. I said, you'll find me somewhere. I said, it's done. And when I got out to the highway, I don't know why I didn't go towards El Dorado. I guess because I wanted someone to find me that knew me, over in this part. And I just swung the car up in the woods there, up in where Igby found. I just left it and took off walking. Well, anyway, she called 911 and had the cops over there and everything, and had 2 ambulances there. I was in the ambulance, and I just told that guy, I said, I just want to go home. That's all I want to do is go home. That lady sat beside me. She said, sir, you can't go home. She said, you tried to kill yourself. And I saw Michelle walk back by, and I said, well, there goes my wife. I said, you get her and get her in here and get me out of here. And I said, I'll go home. Made me wake up. Michelle told me one day, she said, won't you come, because I didn't come up here and go to church, she did. And she said, won't you come up here and go to church with me one day? And I thought, I'd rather go ride my bike or go do something else, I thought, But the following Sunday, I told her, I said, I think I'm going to go to church with you. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's the best thing ever happened to me. Randy Clark, he had a healing at our church that I go to, and I thought, it's worth a shot. I'm waiting on a major back surgery. What else do I got to lose? So, and I even told Chad, our pastor Chad, I even told him, a couple weeks when they said it's coming. I said, he's coming for me. kind of sitting back here in the back, and I'm trying to move my hands and, trying to move my fingers as he's healing and everything, and words of knowledge come up on the board, and every other one, it just feels like it's just pointed at me. He says, well, come on over here, Michael, and he prays over me, and speaks into me, and I'm still, got my hand like this right here, and I really can't move it that much. I can, move it a little bit. Pastor Chad comes up to me. My fingers just popped out, and they were straight, and I kind of looked down, and I was like, wow. I was like, I can move these, and I went to do that, and he hollers at Michelle, and he says, Michelle, come up here and look at this. Well, she walks up there, and she's standing over to the side of me, and I showed her, I said, look, I can move my fingers, and everything, and she was just in tears. My son walks up there, and when I shook his hand, he was like, wow, Dad. He's like, I just can't believe it. And it ain't quit since. It just keeps getting better and better every day. I was just in so much pain. I've come to church before and had to walk out service and go get sick because I'm in so much pain. And it was just horrible. And I don't have that problem anymore. I got home and I thought, well, I want to pull my bike out and wash it. It's a little dusty. And Devin and Bryce was mowing, and Bryce was weed eating. And so I pulled it out. I thought, man, I'm going to ride it down to Omaha One Stop and get some gas. And so I got on it, and my son said, Dad, you don't need to go far, your hand might mess up. And I said, I'm just going down to Omaha One Stop. Got $2 worth of gas, and I thought, that ain't very much. So I come back home, and I thought, well, I get in a truck and go to North City, get some gas. And I got to thinking about that, I'm going to ride this bike to North City. Well, got going to North City, and thought, well, I turned around at the intersection, went back home, and got to the house, looked all over the head gasket. It ain't leaking. And like I said, I've been on it. I bet I've put 1,500 miles on it, and I ain't put maybe a half quart of oil in it. And if I would have rode it from here to home, I probably would have blew it up before any of this happened. And like I say, he didn't just fix my hand. He fixed my bike because he knew that's what I was ready to do. I got all kinds of paperwork, doctors and surgeon, says that my hand was more or less ruined. I used to not be able to do that. Couldn't do none of that. And I'm doing it.